This is the most mature audiences only shit you've ever heard. Period. From Boston. Broadcasting all over the world. Send the soy boys home. 'Cause we ain't gonna sugarcoat shit.
Drop down, let me give it to you.
This is the Joe Cronin Show. Now, here's Joe Cronin. Joe Cronin.
Joe, if you're listening, you stupid fuck. He looks like one of those guys from Long Island that wants to be a white rapper, but he's 30-something years old, lives in his parents' basement with the droopy cap and the whatever, but he thinks he's Howard Stern, and he's got a cool way of talking in the microphone, and he's a shock jock or whatever, and somehow or another he accumulates followers on Twitter. It's fucking pathetic. So please, nobody listen to anything involving a guy named Joe Cronin, because it's just so fucking sad.
What's going on, wrestling fans? I gotta give it to MJF, man. That MJF bit kind of started cringy, you know what I mean? And then it got really good. I gotta be honest. It started cringy, and I was like, oh no, this is terrible. Slimy, greasy Italian New York sing-along. I don't want nothing to do with this song. Nothing to do with any of this shit. But then, you know what? I gotta be honest, bro. That guy can sing that song, at least. He killed it on that song. And MJF was officially my favorite thing of the night. I gotta be honest. As usual, as he probably should be, but yeah. MJF was my favorite thing of the night. I gotta give it to him. Pretty good show tonight for me. Not the greatest stuff. Tony Khan with a million announcements every second, so it's hard to believe what his announcements are going to be, good or bad or whatever. He looked like he'd been sucking ass or drinking like pounds of coffee today. Looks like Jay White found out Vince McMahon was running WWE again and was like, fuck this. I think I'll go to the place that won't make me a manager like they tried to make Adam Cole. So, I think Jay White was like, yeah, let me not do that. Let's not do that. What did you guys think of Monday? I'm sorry, Jesus. What did you guys think of AEW Dynamite tonight? Boo for saying that, Joe, you scumbag. I know. I missed the first 15 minutes of the show tonight, though. Tony Khan looked like a fucking crackhead while delivering the news about AEW. Tony Khan, take it away, brother.
Wait, no, guys. I got an announcement to make. 4 years ago, a bunch of guys band together, and they created something really, oh, hey, my God. And so, therefore, because of that, I'm going to be in the greatest place of all time, Wembley Stadium. And we're going to do it again. We're going to, for the first time in 4 years since that event happened, and we made breaking news, and this changed the industry forever to the end of forever time. We're going to make a big announcement here tonight with the help of the greatest British guy thing, white, British conqueror people, Caucasian, you've ever seen in your life. That's right. That's right, everybody. That's right. I did do cocaine, right? I am going to tell you, this is the greatest announcement of my life, and the greatest announcement in the history of AEW. And so we're taking AEW all across the water. We're Wembley Stadium, and we're going to bring it back. We're going to go back to an event that changed the landscape of wrestling for what we know it is. I think here's the thing. We're going to Wembley Stadium, and we are doing all in. And I'm all in.
All right, okay. Man, Tony, thanks, man. That was wow. Okay. Well, there you have it, folks. Tony Khan with a hell of an announcement there. I don't believe it. I think I just burst a blood vessel in my head. Jesus Christ, bro, my eye hurts. What did I just do to myself? A raging pain right here. I just caused an aneurysm. I'm gonna die. Can you imagine that? Some guy making a joke about Tony Khan on YouTube, then he dies of a brain bleed from like a fucking thing exploding out of his head. You know what? I wish I had thought ahead of this. I would have gotten some powder and thrown it up in the air everywhere. Although it would have been talcum powder, wouldn't it? Or it would have been that Johnson & Johnson's baby powder, because I have some of it. So I would have done that, and then I would have gotten cancer, because that stuff gives you cancer. In fact, Johnson & Johnson just settled an $8 billion lawsuit. So there you go. Hey, Johnson & Johnson, their vaccine was really good, wasn't it, guys? Wasn't the Johnson & Johnson one really good, or did they discontinue that one? Oh, they discontinued the Johnson & Johnson vaccine? Johnson & Johnson, the company that has lost a $1 billion lawsuit? Oh. Well, at least the Johnson & Johnson, vaxxers, they can all sue when they get something. Oh, they can't. That's right. Sorry. I'll be okay. I'll be all right, guys. AEW Dynamite tonight. We're going to get to it. Don't worry. I didn't forget why we're really here. MJF, serenading the crowd as only MJF can.
Wait.
That was actually pretty impressive. I got to be honest. And then he said some hilarious shit in the ring. Dude, when he said that teacher was a stupid bitch or whatever, like, dude, that was it. I was done. And by the way, I know a lot of you guys have ADD out there, but as someone with severe ADD, I have severe ADD, as you can imagine. Anybody who's tried to get me to be on time for some kind of chat or tried to figure out knows I have severe retarded ADD. I literally am a fucking tard. So to hear MJF like describe what I dealt with in high school for years was kind of funny. And there were some teachers that were really helpful and some teachers that were like, you're a fucking idiot. And so I think anybody who has any trouble in school could identify with that, no matter what it was. And it was kind of funny that he called her a dumb bitch or whatever. Beautiful. So we're going to Wembley Stadium for AEW All In. The Guns finally had a real entrance. I don't know what song, I mean, bro, that was exactly. But I noticed they came out the new music. It sounded like they put together one hell of a thing, did the Guns. And now we're finally getting to talk about AEW after all the WWE talk. We had 2 nights of WrestleMania over on my backup channel. We're back here on the main channel. Glad to be back here with you. For the people that missed it, go watch Corrupted Nation, my backup channel. Corrupted Nation or Evil Spectrum 3. Those 2 other channels is where we pretty much covered all the wrestling while we were not live able to do it on this channel. I got everything fixed, so we're good to go. Everything has been resolved. And Daddy wins again. So
You all have decided to take your hard-earned money and to fund my show, to fund what I do, to fund what I believe in,
Oh
to
my
fund
God.
my godly ass. JCS Army, donate to me. Acknowledge me.
the Soundwave 92 is coming in with $30. The big one.
The main event saved the show for me because FTR are so important to the tag team division. But this show is all about the announcements. First it was Jay White getting signed and then a recreating All In for their first major UK show. 7/10 good show.
7 out of 10 coming in from Soundwave. I believe this is going to be the first time in a while that I sort of deviate a little bit from Soundwave. And I'm actually going to drop a little bit lower than Soundwave tonight. I'm going to give tonight a 6.5 out of 10. Because the announcements didn't do it for me, but they were better than I expected. You know what I mean? Jay White being there, I guess, is good for everybody. I don't care about him. I'll just be honest. I'm not going to pretend to know him. I'm not going to pretend to, like, be this mark for him or know who he is. I don't care and know, really. You know what I mean? Unlike back in the day when Catman Mustang fucker pretended like he didn't know who Kenny Omega was, but then he pretended like he's known him for 10 years. Yeah, that guy didn't know who Kenny Omega was, and then he pretended to know who he was forever. And he's a liar, and he lies about most things to make money. But the bottom line is I am not going to do that. I don't know who Jay White really is. I know he's in New Japan or something, in the Bullet Club maybe. I don't care. I never watched that version of it. I don't like that version of it. The guy looks like a less entertaining Seth Rollins. Maybe he'll be great, though. I don't know. But right now I don't see a whole lot of very skeptical about him. All In. Man, you're going to need some fucking all talent to sell out that Wembley Stadium because I don't know if you got it right now, bro. You're going to need to call up CM Punk and Cody Rhodes and maybe a couple other people if you want to sell out Wembley Stadium, but you never know. Maybe they'll do it. Maybe the people over there are bored enough that they'll go. But at least another announcement from Tony Khan, and it was better than I expected, actually, because I expected, like, Jay White's here or like, you know, we're going to be doing a new, we're going to have a feature in the video game. I expected something really stupid. And I don't think the All In announcement is stupid. So I think it's pretty cool, I guess. So that's good. I'm not going to say that. So I would say Tony Khan's announcement was a little better. But the problem is the guy's got an announcement every 2 seconds, and it's becoming actually a segment on the show that Tony Khan has an announcement. They should actually just start making a joke out of it. Like, Tony Khan's announcement number 17 comes this week. You know, start counting. Somebody should go back and grab all the articles of every time the news was Tony Khan has a big announcement. And we'd be on, like, what, 17 right now? this week, Tony Khan's announcement number 19. Like, stay tuned to find out what it is. It's a whole thing now. The announcement by Tony Khan. He looked like a fucking crackhead reading that announcement, dude. He must have he did like Adderall and a speedball, and then went out there and read the announcement off like a teleprompter. And his eyes almost came out of his head. And then he was like, he must have had Adam Cole ready on the side for when he ran out of steam. So he'd be like, all right, Adam, and here's the guy that's going to tell you more about it or whatever, because I'm on crack. Tony Khan, I love Tony Khan, but he is on fucking crack. The guy's on fucking crack. And if he wasn't, I don't know. I don't know, bro. By the way, this sweater looks like it's right out of Star Trek or something. It looks like a futuristic sweater by Tony Khan.
Moments that seemed impossible. And for me, what you're about to announce is one of those moments.
Thank you very much, Nigel. It's great to have you in AEW, and I'm so excited about tonight's announcement. 5 years ago, before AEW was founded, 4 pioneers, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes, and Kenny Omega, put on a show called All In. It was the biggest independent wrestling show of all time, and it got interest from around the world. Now, Flash, 5 years later, AEW is going to make our debut in London, England, Sunday, August 27th, for the first ever AEW All In. It's going to be one of the biggest shows in the history of the company. AEW All In, August 27th in London, England. AEW's debut in London is a huge event. We're both very excited about it. And now, here to announce the site of AEW All In London is a man cut from the same cloth as those visionary pioneers 5 years ago.
It's Adam Cole, baby.
Man, once again, they bring out Adam Cole to finish an announcement. What do you do? The video game, the other announcement, and now this announcement as well. It's hilarious, man. Caffeine or Coke? I'm going with Coke, like cocaine, not Coca-Cola. We're going with straight up cocaine, bro. My eyeballs are hurting me from opening my eyes as big as I opened them a few minutes ago, dude. I'm all jacked up from doing what I did. Yikes! But that is pretty big, man. Wembley Stadium, AEW. That is probably going to be pretty cool. And I've been screaming about this for 3 years. In fact, in my opinion, it's 3 years too late, because they should have been doing another All In a long time ago. And in my opinion, if you're going to do All In the spirit of the way they did All In the first time, you almost envision it not even as like an AEW event, but almost as an AEW event, but with a global wrestling ideology. And what I mean by that is you have some people from New Japan, you have some people from Independence, and you kind of get all these people from all over to do the All In maybe. Now, I'm not normally someone who would say that. I would say, fuck all those people, just do AEW. But this might be the one time where I think, you know what, have a couple attractions from the outside. But who are the attractions from the outside? Nobody really knows who anybody is anymore. Everybody pretty much knows the people that are in AEW, WWE, or Ring of Honor, whatever you want to call it. Everybody else is, they have the fan thirst for New Japan Wrestling has gone down over the last few years. The thirst for the independent stuff has gone down. I don't know if anybody's noticed this, but it really has. It was at an all-time high, and AEW took a big part of that market away. And then because AEW did that, WWE went out and got all those people. And it's really left the indies kind of decimated. There's not a whole lot of new, big indie talent out there. They are already signed, most of them. There's not a lot, I don't believe. I mean, maybe I'm missing something, but we'll see. Could there be some ex-WWE people that eventually end up their way over there? Maybe. Could there be a New Japan match? Maybe. I would take all that. You know what I mean? If I could get 6 or 7 AEW matches and maybe 3 international type of outside-the-box type of matches, I mean, why not in the spirit of All In? But I think that they should have launched All In number 2 years ago. I thought they should have definitely done it in AEW a while ago. I know they did All Out, but I don't know. That's, in my opinion, what they should have done. Soundwave92, thank you for the $30. You beast, Soundwave. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for all the support over the weekend, guys. If you guys didn't do that, man, I don't know where I'd be at. So thank you very much to all of you who donated all week long, were liking my streams, watching my streams and videos, finding me on my backup channel, coming back here to party, all that stuff, man. Plus, last night we had a blast on the Raw it wasn't the Raw review. It was actually just a kind of a Raw retread open forum show last night. And man, we had some fun last night. If you missed the show last night, go watch it. Go watch my show from last night if you missed it, because it was like Vince turns Raw to garbage, and we just did this free-for-all stream.
But at the
it was a lot of fun, and we found out that the Dork Knight has an obsession with his own daughter. It was very weird.
He's scary fucking smart. That's how he gets away with all this crazy.
He wasn't happy about Vince McMahon. Did you hear this last night?
Shit. And it's quite frankly fucking terrifying, and I really... I wish. Well, yeah, dude, he's a garbage. In my opinion, anyway.
Why is it terrifying? What's he gonna do to you?
I don't know what he's gonna do to me, but I wouldn't let him fucking ever meet my daughter, much less spend any time alone with her.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't want to.
Fuck you. You haven't seen my daughter.
He was clamoring to meet your daughter too. He's like, fuck.
Why do we have to see your daughter? What's going on with her?
Nothing.
Okay.
At all.
Well, I mean, like,
I have an attractive daughter, and I don't want you to fucking.
Oh my
God! What the fuck?
Why would you?
Why are you talking about your daughter being
Seriously,
attractive?
of all the things you could have said, you could have said, "I have a beautiful daughter. I have a really pretty daughter."
You know
I have an attractive daughter.
You know how many motherfuckers I've had to put the fear of God into with this shotgun over here? I haven't even had.
Nobody fucks my daughter.
Well, you should point at yourself right now.
Well, first of all, that was kind of gross. No, that's not what I'm saying at all.
You literally just said that your daughter is attractive. Like, you should not.
Hey, my mom says I'm attractive.
No, subjectively, that's what other people tell me. She's my daughter, so I don't.
Obviously, like, who wouldn't want that?
She's my cute little.
All right. Calm down, dork. Calm down, brother. Jesus Christ!
All right.
Don't.
I gotta wrap it up anyway because I gotta go to work at 7.
I'm sorry. Okay, Rastava.
On the West Coast.
Yeah,
that might have been one of the funniest, weirdest things I've heard in a while. I want to thank Dork for making me worried about his family, basically. So, congratulations to Dork. Had wonderful takes last night. He buried all his friends too. That was fun. That's okay though. You bury friends sometimes. Orange Cassidy and the Blackpool Combat Club and the Best Friends all opened up AEW Dynamite tonight. At least I think they did. I saw it. It was all right. I didn't care that much. And then Christian opened up a door, a red door, where Luchasaurus came through. It looked like, it's funny, we were talking about KANE and Typo Negative's music last night, because then through the door came, what's he going to be called now? Like Lucha Psycho or something like that? Whatever the what's the dinosaur word in Spanish? For, dinosaurio, Lucha Dinosaurio. Or it could be Demon Dinosaur. How about that? Can you imagine that? That could be fun. Luchasaurus. Because he looks like he was coming out dressed like KANE, you know what I mean? I'm dressed like KANE now. Here he comes. Here he comes. Demon. Dinosaurio. Demonio.
I'll tell you what, that is a deadly duo right there, Luchasaurus with Christian Cage in his ear. Deadly. Yeah, Christian.
What did that even mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what the hell was that? He just, like, came through a door and he was different. Looked pretty cool. I don't know. They should call him something like the Demon Dinosaur. You know, or think of some demonic name. What opened the show tonight? Because I missed the first 12 minutes of the show then. Does anybody... Oh, okay. Switchblade, Jay White, Juice Robinson opened the show. So I didn't even see it. I saw that on Twitter. Okay, so I saw Jay White debut on Twitter, and then I couldn't remember where it was on the show, and then I didn't see the show in real time open. So I actually technically did see the whole show then. Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. I swear to God, I thought I missed something, but I guess I just watched everything but out of order. All right. That's fine. Then the women came out, and they had a pretty good match with the little anorexic doll there, or whatever her name is. Riho had a okay match with the champ. Then the complainy women came out, and they were like, whatever, we'll beat you up. By the way, we're all getting our nails done after this. Jay White and Juice Robinson have about as much interest from me as cheese with turds on it in the streets of San Francisco. Let's rate the Acclaimed rap.
Listen, yo, everybody saying
yo.
I'm on the mic, I'm nice with raw rhyming. Damn, it feels good to be home on Long Island. You want us to join, but we can't though. Jericho is full of more shit than George Santos. You looking so strange there, looking like you're hanging with the cocaine bear. We got the whole place listening. JAS means just a clean scissoring.
Pretty good one. I thought it was pretty good. It was a little bit all over. You know, we don't know. But I like it. I'll give it a 6.5 out of 10. Maybe a 7, 6. I don't know. So it was all right. Pretty okay rap tonight from the Acclaimed.
Shit bum.
Yo.
Huge announcement tonight.
Yes.
Wembley is a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
All in first stadium show. How they gonna sell 80K? I think they will. Switchblade Jay White, thumbs up.
Well,
7.5.
They're going to corner off a quarter of it and sell 60K. That's what they're going to do. I bet they sell 65,000. I bet they can do 65,000, maybe. 65,000. That's what I'm going to say, guys. Remember that number. Remember this day. On the day of the announcement, they announced Wembley Stadium, and I'm going to say that they sell 65,000 tickets right now. I'm going out on a limb. 666 says Pinball. Good point. Alex Oli, man, Alex, what up? Good to hear from you, bro.
Shit bum.
How are you?
Tonight it showed Cody more respect than WWE did.
Yeah.
By mentioning his contributions. Dynamite smashed Raw.
Yep. WWE would have not mentioned him, by the way. If this was WWE, they would have skipped him. They would have been like, a group of men created something special years ago, the Young Bucks, and they would have just not mentioned Cody. That's what WWE would have done. Jay Swiss, good to hear from you, man, and thank you for the $5 and becoming a $5 shit bum, Jay Swiss. How you doing? Yeah, they would have skipped mentioning him, so interesting that they did decide to mention him. But we'll see.
Super chat party.
Ooh, Julio Guzman.
Next announcement, all in to move from Wembley Stadium to Wembley Park.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious. Tonight is Picard Season 3, Episode number 8 at 3 a.m. on the East Coast, 12 o'clock, midnight on the West Coast. Star Trek Picard, Episode 8. Sign up on Paramount Plus, binge watch it, and
Shit
then use
bum.
hashtag Star Trek Legacy.
Dork Knight's favorite Pearl Jam song is Daughter.
Mr. Pico Boulevard. You might be right, man. You might be right. Mr. Pico Boulevard. Wembley Arena or Wembley Stadium? I think they said Wembley Stadium, the big one, right? They did. Am I mishearing it? Let's listen again.
Called.
And listen, I'll get right to it. On August 27th, AEW All In is coming to London Wembley Stadium.
There you go. London Wembley Stadium. Welcome to London Wembley Stadium. All Elite Wrestling. All Elite Wrestling in Wembley Stadium. There you go. Just for anybody who didn't know. Holy shit. And then you know, so the announcement was pretty good, man. Pretty good announcement. That's really big. And then MJF came out and he just went crazy. I mean, I don't know, bro.
Pennies from heaven. Hit it!
This motherfucker sang Pennies from Heaven on AEW Dynamite.
Oh my God.
And every time it rains, pennies from heaven. Don't you know each cloud contains pennies from heaven? You'll find your fortune falling all over town.
I mean, this was right out of a Jericho segment, really, right here. But I'll tell you, man, when MJF hit the ring, bro, he was tearing it up on the vocals.
It won't be done.
Heaven. I said a pennies from heaven for you and me.
Chaz, go warm up the car. I'll meet you out there, and he won't be done.
I mean, I gotta be honest, bro, dude, he just fucking nailed that on live television. I'm serious. There were musical cues that were going on in there. I mean, I know he had earbuds tightly packed in his ear, and they were in there good, obviously. I don't think people understand, like, there were musical cues that had to be hit between the band and him and on live TV, and I don't think we've ever heard MJF attempt to sing a song before, nor have I ever seen anyone ever sing a song like that live, I feel like. And this guy just went out there and kind of nailed it. And it got better as it went on. From the band to him, it kind of got better as it went on. They were a little bit nimble at the beginning almost. Like, ooh, we're going to try to, like, you know. And then it was just, wow. I mean, you got to be honest. First, I was like, this is cringe as fuck. This is cringy as fuck. And then, I mean, bro, MJF just went off. And by the way, this is something Vince McMahon would have loved. Vince McMahon would have fucking loved this. If MJF was like, I got this idea to sing this song and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to do the Vince would be like, I like this. I like the idea. Yeah, let's do that. And then if Vince saw this, Vince would be in the back freaking out. Like, God damn, yeah. Like, oh, Vince would, oh my God, bro. Let me tell you something. Vince would have exploded in his pants if this had been on his show. I didn't know this guy had the vocality.
And you'll find your fortune falling all over town. There'll be pennies from heaven. Pennies from heaven. I said a pennies from heaven for you and me.
Go warm up the car. I'll meet you out there, and he won't be done.
Bro.
Run over me with. And then back over me. And Max did a great job right there. Come on.
MJF nailed that number, bro. Like, on live TV. I can't say it enough. The timing, what they did, what he just did, live on TV, the musical cues. I mean, dude. I got to text this out. I mean, on live TV. I just can't, like, I'm serious. Like, that could have gone bad. Like, that could have been bad. That was a risky thing to do because, dude, if he fucks up or gets lost or something gets off or he can't hear a certain thing or someone gets stuck in a part or whatever the fuck happens, I mean, dude, he could have looked like a goddamn idiot, and that's the last thing you want. You know, MJF is to look stupid like that, or to look ridiculous, or to get lost on something. So once again, this was impressive. To nail that in front of that crowd, it was fucking awesome. And I went from this is cringe, my Irish ass hates these fucking Islander fucks, but it was great. And I really loved it when he cut into his teacher a little bit later. We got to hear that.
Be serious. Some would even say you deserve it, class losers like Sammy Guevara. And no, this ain't lore. This is my life. This ain't a villain origin story because I'm MJF 24/7, baby. Now, when I was a kid...
Where is it?
And I would say, Miss...
Did you guys hear the guy in the crowd yelling during MJF's promo? MJF was cutting this promo, and there was a guy in the crowd, and he was like, "She's a fucking whore!" Did anybody hear that? He's cutting this promo on his teachers, for Christ's sake. And he's like, and then Mrs. Anderson said I wasn't a very good student. And then someone's like, she was a fucking whore. Fuck her. Like, did anyone, like, tell me you guys heard the people in the crowd. What the fuck, bro? And then he told them to turn his mic up like he could hear them.
Mrs. Benedict every day, I don't know the answer. And Mrs. Benedict would laugh at me. And then Mrs. Benedict would say, see, class? Don't be like Mr. Friedman. So after this happened, every single day in school,
there you go.
On the last day of school,
Did she say that? I think he said that bitch don't get laid. Did the guy in the crowd say that bitch don't get laid?
Benedict would say, see, class? Don't be like Mr. Friedman. So after this happened, every single day in school, on the last day of school,
that bitch don't get laid or that bitch don't get paid? That bitch don't get paid. Oh my God, that was killing me.
Mrs. Benedict. On the last day of school, Mrs. Benedict, she pulled me over to the side and she said, Maxwell, where does your brain go during my class that you can't pay attention? And the answer was simple every time, professional wrestling. Because I daydream every day, Mrs. Benedict, about being a world champion, and Miss Benedict looked at me and she said, Maxwell, the probability of that happening is slim to none.
No, yeah.
Well, Mrs. Benedict, looks like your math was a bit off, honey. Because I just got the key to Long Island. Because this is MJF Day here forevermore. And because I am the reigning and defending AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So I've got a lesson for this class. Don't be like Mrs. Benedict, and by that I mean, don't be a stupid bitch.
He called a woman a bitch. He called a woman a stupid bitch. Cancel him. What is a woman? You don't know anymore, so who cares?
You raised a piece of shit.
Luis Urdaneta just became a member again, man. 22 months in a row from Luis Urdaneta. You know that tickles my pickle. 45,000 to 55,000, says Urdaneta. I'm telling you, man, I'll give him 65,000. I'll go, that's pretty high. 65,000, man. Yep. Botch Club's coming in with one, I see.
You raised a piece of shit.
Here we go, Botch Club.
Big announcement on Botch Club.
Oh.
Don't be a fart mark. Follow Botch Club. Botch Club, the worldwide leader in sports entertainment content. There is no father to my style. Salute Joe Cronin Nation.
Thank you, Botch Club, and everybody go follow Botch Club because the botches keep coming on their Instagram page. Botch Club, as always, is on there crushing it. Botch Club with so much content, you will laugh, you will jerk off. And I mean, the video memes on Shane McMahon alone, the poor guy, I feel bad about those a little bit, but, they are really hilarious. Botch Club on Instagram with over 43,000 followers now. You do not want to miss it. Don't miss it, okay? Botch Club is wonderful. And don't miss Star Trek First Contact Day today, So don't miss Episode 8 tonight. Snoop Dogg's WrestleMania photo of him going waffling The Miz looks pretty epic. I saw that earlier. Interesting. I thought it was a pretty good elbow, to be honest. I thought Snoop hit him with a pretty good elbow. Who would think you'd see Snoop Dogg dropping the people's elbow on The Miz at WrestleMania right after Shane McMahon tears his quad? I mean, did you have that on your fucking bingo card? Probably not. Sammy Guevara looking hungry tonight. He did whatever he did. I don't know. Tony Khan had his crackhead announcement. Daniel Bryan's promo with the Blackpool Combat Club was, I don't know, man. It was so weird, man. It ended up coming off pretty goofy to me. Did it come off that way to you guys? It came off kind of goofy to me. Bryan Danielson's promo. I don't know. I just thought it was a bit goofy. That's all. And then the Ass Boys came out to face FTR. They had a pretty good match. And luckily FTR wins to stay. And they will not be retiring or leaving, it looks like. So that's good news for a lot of people who had definite anxiety about what was going to be going down with them. Shane still got it. I mean, I don't know, it didn't look like it the other night. I mean, not that Triple H didn't tear his quad in his prime, and Vince McMahon tore his quad when he was older, but I don't know. I don't think it looked too good for him the other night. Shane McMahon, that is. Promo was somebody mad at someone who messed up
shit bomb
a mocha latte for Daniel.
MJF to AEW. Attention Deficit Disorder Wrestling.
Exactly. I liked when the crowd started chanting ADD, though. That was pretty funny. That was kind of funny. They started chanting ADD. I found that to be pretty funny. Thank you, Mr. Pico Boulevard, for coming in with the $2, bro. Much appreciated. I think a lot of people were a little bit blawed by AEW tonight. I think people were in a WrestleMania comatose hangover. I think that's definitely a possibility. Could be what happened, for sure. I head over to the Discord, though, and see what's going on with everybody in the Discord. That's what Michael Cole said, Joe. Okay. I see. I haven't seen the show that comes on after AEW, so I don't know. But yeah, it's just another kayfabe killer, to be honest. There's so much of that nowadays that it's almost unbelievable. They just don't care. Like, yeah, everybody knows. We'll just do more. We'll just talk about how it's not real even more. That's a good idea, Seems like a real smart idea. Things are going well when they do that. So hopefully they'll I would have thought hopefully that they would start cutting down on pulling the curtain back. But instead, it just makes it worse. In fact, we get more of it. You know? So you think maybe they're gonna stop pulling back the curtain so much, and they don't. They do more of it. And Jim Cornette was kind of right about a lot of that stuff. You know? All right, I'm jumping on Twitter. I'm jumping on Discord. Where's my Discord horse? We got Rastafo, we got Omar, we got J Men S. We got fucking AJ Adams. Everybody's muted though. What the hell's going on here? Oh, Omar is talking, but I can't hear him. That's weird. Oh, there we go. What's up, Omar?
What up?
God damn, I don't know why I couldn't hear you. Discord.
What's up, Jizz?
What's up, cunt?
Hey, where did you find that guy at?
Which guy?
The daughter diddler.
The dork diddler?
Yeah. Where'd you find him at? In the alley next to a trash can or something?
I found him in the Star Trek community.
Oh, there's many perverts there. You better watch it.
Oh yeah, well I'm finding that out.
Oh, yeah.
You better not talk about his sexy hot daughter or whatever the fuck. What the fuck?
Yeah, I heard he made a porno with her called All In There.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
God.
Mustafa, what's up, man?
I think I threw up in my mouth a little bit. Oh god. Dude, this blew away. And again, I was one of the minority that actually gave Raw a pass for this week, even though I know there's a lot of reasons why to, break it down and eat it up and shit it out. Honestly, tonight blew it away. Dynamite definitely blew it away. Despite the fact that there were a couple things that you could have said, oh, I wanted to see this happen or that happen. Dude, it blew it away.
This blew Raw away, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it blew it away. I gotta be honest, but it was better.
No. I mean, it blows it away just mainly because the crowd actually helped it. I thought this crowd was more interactive and more engaging than the Raw crowd, even though there were a lot of moments where, especially when it was Cody or when it was, Cody getting his ass whooped by Brock, or even though that the tag match wasn't the biggest tag match ever with the tag titles on the line on Raw, at least, people were engaged in that. It was just you wanted a little bit more energy from that crowd. But this crowd in Long Island, holy God. Nothing like a good Northeast crowd to really, pick up the pace.
Right.
We did start off with Ricky Starks. We thought he was going to have a match, but then that didn't happen. And then Jay White comes in. And funny thing is, I wasn't expecting Jay White to even go to WWE at all. I don't understand why people were anticipating that so much over the weekend, just because he had a couple big losses in NJPW and people were suspecting that he was leaving. If anything, he was definitely going to be at least AEW bound, which he's already appeared on AEW multiple times. So it only just made sense that he would at least do some work over there. Plus, we already saw him in Impact just for a cup of coffee. So it looks like mainly AEW is going to be the place he's going to be most likely, and also NJPW.
Well, I don't care. I've said this for a long time when people bring up Jay White. I don't care about Jay White until he does something that I find interesting on AEW.
What would you want him to do that would be interesting? I'm actually curious.
Anything
for me, just don't be another Adam Cole clone. Because at this point, bad guy, another fucking faction, Bullet Club. Daniel Bryan is doing the same thing. Fucking, Jericho's doing the same thing. Just don't be.
Yeah, but they're established groups. They're established groups, and granted, I think that we shouldn't have that many factions. But again, that's
with the same purpose. That kind of what are we doing here? You know what I mean?
Let's look at it. We got the BCC heel faction. We got the Elite. As of right now, turning into a babyface faction slowly but surely. We have the Best Friends. We have, again, there's a lot of them, and that's based off of a lot of the groups that you see in NJPW and even somewhat AAA or AAA Mexico. So it's a thing, that's not technically a WWE sort of kind of, invention, so to speak. But, there are even groups in WWE. So again, factions are good to have. It's just don't overblow them. And luckily enough, they've been pretty cautious with that, at least in my opinion.
We'll see, man. Find out.
Gargo's cousin here.
I mean, it doesn't blow my, like, it's a signing that doesn't blow my mind. You know what I mean? Because in New Japan he was okay, but he wasn't something like makes me go like, oh, this guy is the future, or he's so unique.
Well, he did lose against Kenny Omega for the U.S. title in Japan. So, like, I'm not gonna lie, it was. I agree to an extent. I wasn't like the biggest Jay White fan myself, but again, no, it's like, who knows what you're gonna do with him. Plus, also, the more big names on the indies, the better for the Wembley show. And yeah, I was even gonna ask Joe this, like, how in the hell are you gonna sell out 80,000, even if you could?
Yeah,
especially since it's like 3 years. It's 3 or 4 years in the company,
Oh, trust me. I live in England. I can tell you that for sure. AEW fans in England are huge.
I'm not denying the fact that wrestling is huge in Great Britain. As a matter of fact, and not even just even AEW, but a lot of the indie promotions in Britain and the UK, New Japan, wrestling is huge there. It's just that, again, AEW is 3 or 4 years old. They're using the original All In title, which I'm assuming All Out is no longer a thing. And
yeah, no, I think it will still be just it will be like alternative this year. But yeah, what I can guarantee you for sure is they will be able to sell, I would say, minimum 70K. And maybe even they'll sell out in the first 2-3 days. Because as much as there's a lot of WWE fans here, most of them are frustrated and they're so mad at the product, especially after the Cardiff show. I'm sure they'll be able to sell out at Wembley Stadium.
Hey, Omar, where are you from in the Great Britain, by the way?
Oh, I live in North London.
You live in North London. Oh, okay. So Wembley Arena, now, there have been record crowds of 80,000. Can we assume that that's literally like the amount of people that you can literally fit in there, even if you, let's say, saw a football match?
You can fit up to 100,000. It was the Tyson Fury Dillian White match, boxing match, the heavyweight belt. It was back in May, and it was filled up to 94,000.
Legit.
And that is boxing, and I can tell you that people know AEW more than boxing.
Now, 94,000 legit. We're not talking like figuratively.
No. 94,000. You can check it out. Tyson Fury, Dillian White.
Jesus.
Boxing match.
Because No, I was just going to say, because the fake number for WrestleMania 3 was allegedly over 93,000 when it allegedly it was probably 78 to maybe 80,000. But that's still a big number. I mean, again, Wembley Arena, Wembley Stadium, and a lot of people may not know about this, and not just in wrestling, but they've had some of the biggest concerts there in the world. We're talking Pearl Jam, Elton John, Stevie Wonder, like some of the biggest names.
You're talking about Live Aid, Freddie Mercury.
No. Well, yeah. I mean that too, but then but even more than that, like you even had people that have sold that out on their own name. You know what I mean? Even Bob Marley sold that place out, beat the Rolling Stones record. So there's a lot of history with that building, and also, of course, the endless football, aka soccer matches that have been over there and have had great sales, especially tournaments and stuff. May not necessarily be as big as far as in the States when it comes to soccer, but I understand that obviously internationally, soccer is the love language of sport that brings everybody together for large crowds. And again, I'm agreeing that Great Britain or the UK in general don't have rabid, huge numbers of wrestling fans, especially when they don't come over as often to the UK. But when they do, it's like festive because it's more than just going to, let's say, a small live event. This is huge,
big time. Yeah,
but
they'll be able to do it for sure.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing that I think of why they can definitely, at least in my opinion, they can at least sell 60 to 65,000 easily. This is why Tony Khan has so many connections in the UK because of his connection with the soccer club. Now, I forget the exact name of the soccer club.
Fulham Football Club. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go. And and those guys in that market, despite the fact that again, I don't know how many numbers they bring in on a yearly basis or on a monthly basis, depending on how often they do their season.
It's a big club. It's a top 10 Premier League club, which is the biggest football or soccer league in the world. So you're talking about he basically spends like you're talking about a minimum hundreds of millions of
Oh
pounds.
yeah, at least
$250,000.
At least a quarter of a million.
You're talking about someone who will be able to put a high production value. The only concern I have with this show at that time, if the weather is bad, you're fucked.
Oh my God! Yeah, that's right. Because there's no roof. There's no roof.
That stadium is as exposed as it can.
They're gonna add a giant windshield wiper. It's gonna be fine.
It will be like, remember when Samoa Joe and Michael Cole wearing that stupid fucking thing in the pre-show of WrestleMania because it was raining and I think it was in
as
Florida,
long as
right?
there's no lightning, and it's that was the problem in Florida for WrestleMania was it was lightning.
And that was the first time there actually was rain.
Not too common. It's like rain. It's like rain and wind. That's the problem.
That was the first time there was really precipitation that I can remember for Mania, because I remember at WrestleMania 29. There was at one point, there was a huge cloud over the stadium, and I'm thinking to myself, oh God, if it rains, we're screwed. But luckily enough, it didn't, and then the sun popped out and pretty much was okay for the rest of the evening. But that's also something consideration too. But luckily,
that's why the UFC, when they did their show like last month in London, they did it in O2 Arena because they were concerned about if they did it in Wembley, it's a big risk, huge risk. So
now, correct me if I'm wrong. August is usually still good in the UK because rain doesn't really come until like September heavily, right?
No, it can come in June, it can come in July, it can come in August. It's unpredictable. So yeah, the weather is nice most of the time, but it can rain anytime. Like
right, because I know
common.
Because I know, like, when it gets to like September, October, based upon people that I know that have lived at least in like London and Manchester, like when around September time, it gets darker earlier. It gets really gloomy and cloudy a lot. So what I mean.
It's mainly a good weather, but it can rain. Like for example, I go to a rock festival called Download in June, and it can rain. It can literally rain anytime, and if it rains, it gets muddy and it gets really terrible. So, but that's a festival, not a stadium. But what I mean is, it can rain at any time. So, they have to be lucky. It's a risk. At the end of the day, it's a risk. So,
absolutely, but I think Tony and everybody in AEW, at least in the top brass, they're absolutely going to risk it all, because if you're going to do something like this, especially especially something of this magnitude, where again you're rivaling a lot of the big shows, because again WWE is not just going to Saudi; they've been going to the UK with a lot of these stadium shows in the past 2 years at least, and they've been doing very well. I mean, they did one in Australia, I think, a couple years ago, and it sold big. So this is, and it's funny too, because this is the second international territory that they're tackling. They just tackled Canada. They've been meaning to go to the UK even since the inception of AEW. I was thinking they were going to do like a small
their next
arena
show's
show.
Their next show's Money in the Bank in July, and it's in the O2 Arena. It's not a stadium. So if they're gonna do that, and then if AEW sell out Wembley somehow or go above the 80,000 or 75,000 mark, that is like a big slap to WWE.
But the thing is, people are going to question the number, though. People are going to question the number the moment, let's say, for example, they say, oh, we sold out this arena 82,000. The thing is that everybody's going to question it, because, people like Meltzer, who do the actual investigating of calling up the arena and says, hey, did you actually, because they give out numbers. They do give out numbers at the arena.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's to believe, because it happens in football. Like, for example, FA Cup finals, which is like the football cup finals, it can go up to 80, 90,000. The stadium live shows, it can go to up to these numbers are achievable, big time. So we'll see if they'll do it or not.
One other thing, though, and this is something to take into account, Joe, that the time difference is going to be about 5 hours between East Coast time and London time. So, for example, if the show there started at 8 o'clock, it's going to start 8 o'clock over there p.m., while over here it's going to be 3 p.m.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's going to be fucked.
Yeah, get some of our pain, you spoiled bastard. Get some of it.
Well, remember, when they're in Saudi Arabia for WWE show, I mean, they start actually around 7, 8 o'clock, and over here it's about 12 p.m. normally.
It's 4 a.m. here. I'm watching this shit 1 a.m. till 3.
Bro,
So,
you are a trooper, bro. God bless you, man.
Yeah, here you go. So if you're really complaining about that, you're all a bunch of cunts. I don't give a shit.
I know one thing, they sell a lot of butter over there. I mean, a lot of popcorn.
But Joe, what do you think of this overall? They're really taking a gamble on this show.
Yeah, I mean, I feel the same that it's a bit of a gamble, but I wouldn't care. I'd do it because what the fuck? If you can secure Wembley Stadium internationally and get some eyes and some buzz on the product, and probably, like I said, I think they can sell 65,000 tickets. I don't think they'll sell it out. But if they can sell 50 to 60,000, I think that's a pretty big accomplishment. And you know, and imagine if I'm wrong and they do sell 80. I mean, this is a huge measuring stick.
Incredible. That would be incredible.
Yeah, I'd roll the dice. It is, and I'd roll the dice, man. A sellout would be nice, though. That'd be the best for them.
They had to pass out free cocaine, probably. That'll get everybody there.
Mm-hmm.
Two things that I'm actually noticing, and somebody brought this up in the chat, and I highly doubt, especially after what happened in the past couple weeks, I can only imagine Tony was trying to patch it up with Punk in order for him to come back and actually try to help sell out that show. But at this point, based upon that last comment that he made on Instagram and had it deleted, bro, it doesn't look any time likely, let alone at all, that Punk would be coming back, let alone to try to help out with that show.
Yeah.
And another thing too that I noticed tonight was that when they were doing the I think it might have been the segment with actually no, I take that back because that actually I'm sorry, I'm like blanking out last week. But anyways, we can get back to the show. I mean, there were definitely moments, especially with the 6-man tag, that I just, again, I know, like, you know, people are gonna like constantly, like, you know, pick on the fact of the best friends. They actually brought their mom Sue in the minivan, which I popped for actually. But it was a good match, and it was like a standard, what you see in New Japan, pretty much. Just like a pretty much standard new match, working the big guy, trying to a little bit wild, kick him, punch him, and then finally Paul drove him, and then. For me, for whatever reason, I felt that the finish felt flat. Like it was almost as if it's like they went for the big save and they obviously win the match, but for whatever reason, it just was like, okay, they won, but I didn't like feel like, oh my God, they won.
Yeah, I felt the same too. I just felt like, okay, good, they're staying. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only good thing tonight, I would say, is there's two things. I would say the MJF thing, like Joe was mentioning, how good he was in Q. Honestly, that was better than Vince McMahon when he was in Saturday Night Live in 1980s.
Oh, you mean like when Vince did his whole step back music video with
that whole shit. Yeah.
Oh man, I actually saw a video of that the other day because somebody sent it. I hadn't since 2006 when DX parodied it. But going back to the MJF thing, I actually did notice something, and a lot of people were actually asking me this on Facebook, friends of mine in a wrestling group. They were asking me, like, how did MJF know how to sing? Well, if you remember, he did that Jericho steak dinner thing, and they did some type of Broadway or some made-up tune. Yeah. And people don't know this, but he was actually in choir and also did his own doo-wop thing, I think, when he was in high school. So boy got some pipes.
He got pipes, man. He knows how to do it pretty damn well. He's multi-talented. I'll give him that for sure. And the way when he got, like, I don't know, that fucking mayor who that politician was, everybody was booing him.
Oh, I know who he is. He honestly, dude, everybody freaking hates this dude, man. It's weird because, again, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat, everybody hates this dude.
And then he tells everyone, no, you gotta cheer him out. Like, don't fuck this up for me.
That made it, dude. Everything that MJF did, everything he did was on point. And in the whole ADHD, ADD thing. I mean, again, I and I'll admit this right now, I actually do have ADHD and it runs in my family. But funny enough, I love the segment for what it was. Regardless if MJF is a heel or a babyface, you can relate to him in some way. And again, his timing, his inflections, the way that he was handling the band. Again, everything that he did was just flawless, and probably one of the best segments he's ever done. I'll say top 5. You know, he had a great.
Joe said it. If Vince really saw this, he would be coming multiple times. Dude, Vince would love that shit so much. You have no idea.
Yeah, and again, you know, I mean, of course, and here's what I realized, Joe, and this is something I don't know if people can in this generation really know. When Rowdy Roddy Piper was in Portland, Rowdy was always cheered in Portland. Same as MJF. This only happened one other time, and that was when he was feuding with Punk. He's constantly always going to be cheered in Long Island and play as a baby face no matter what. And that's based off Rowdy Roddy Piper, a la again. So it's really cool when they ever go to Long Island, or even if they go to Queens. It's always a great reaction. Also New Jersey as well, because if you remember Full Gear, which I was at, dude, everybody was going nuts when he won.
That city supervisor was so good. I don't even know if he really was the city supervisor. Was he? Because if he is, he should be.
Yeah, he was. He was legit. He's legit.
That guy should be a wrestler. Now Taz said he should be a heel manager. So Taz, like, once again breaks the fourth wall on TV for the millionth time. He's a fucking idiot.
Taz is shit, man. Taz is a crap commentator. Taz.
Here and there, he's okay. He's decent. He's decent. He's mid.
Sometimes he's sometimes he's good, and then other times he's terrible. It's weird. He goes back and forth for me.
Right. I mean, again, my favorite time with Taz, at least on commentating, was 2002 to 2006 on SmackDown. That was his best work.
Didn't like him, but I get what you're saying.
Dude, yeah. Samoa Joe is better than him.
He's better than now. He's better than what's over there now. I'll say that. You know what I mean? He's been better than that. Oh, there goes Discord shitting itself again. Discord shits itself again. God damn you, Discord. God damn, Mustafa won't shut the fuck up. You're right, Jacob. Maybe that's why Discord crashes, because Mustafa won't shut the fuck up. I'm just kidding. I don't know. No, Mustafa's on crack. It's okay. He thinks he's the only. I literally have said I have ADD on this show forever, and then Mustafa goes, "Oh, I don't know. I'm not afraid to admit this, but I've got ADD." Okay, Mustafa, it's not really that crazy. Now, admit you have AIDS. That's something that might be different.
Shit, bum.
But he won't tell us that he has a girlfriend.
Snoop Dogg new finishing move, the bichronic elbow.
The bichronic elbow, dude. I'm about to lay that bichronic elbow down on him. Mr. Pico Boulevard, that's a great point, man. Yeah, I love it. Mustafa won't tell us. Like it's like, Mustafa, man, when's the last time? When was your last girlfriend? I don't talk about that stuff. I'm not afraid to admit this. I've had ADD forever. Fucking guy. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Pico Boulevard. Let's go to the donations. See what people are saying out there in the land of donation land.
Shit, bum.
Hey, Joe, maybe Vince secretly owns and is trying to make it grow by running WWE's creative?
No. That's a great point, and I wish that were kind of true in a way, because it'd be kind of funny. But Spectral Citizen, thanks for the $5. No way, unfortunately. Vince is trying to make the biggest money business deals you've ever seen. That's exactly what they're doing. The biggest money deals to make the most money of the moneyest money things you've ever moneyed in your life. That's what Vince McMahon is doing. That's why he said he wouldn't really be playing in the weeds, but he'd be managing
do a little
big
basketball
decisions.
dance off the concrete. I mean, I'm just so sick of you little meth head devil worshippers. I'll be honest, I'd like to take a big bite out of your face.
Did anyone see the picture on Twitter of Dax Hardwood after Dynamite went off air? He held up a Vince Fears Tony sign. I sent the picture to Joe via Messenger.
Oh, man, that is hilarious, I guess. I don't know. Well, that'll be on the internet tomorrow. DWELSH, thank you, DWELSH. What up?
Wembley main event? MJF Omega?
MJF and Kenny Omega headlining the Wembley event. Maybe. I don't know if that's enough for me. I mean, I think more like, I don't know, maybe. Is that, Jericho's got to have a big match, too, to help that out.
Super chat party.
Yeah, the announcement was pretty cool, but they need some kind of a surprise. Maybe Goldberg and CM Punk return to sell out the stadium?
Yeah, it might be. Maybe Goldberg. I mean, if they could get Goldberg, they could get CM Punk, and they get Drew McIntyre jumping ship. I mean, then you're talking about something maybe. Maybe. Was that J-Rod? J-Rod. Thank you, J-Rod, Julio Guzman, and DWELSH. CM Punk versus Kenny Omega would maybe do it, yeah. Or CM Punk versus MJF and Kenny Omega versus Jericho, number 4 or 5 or whatever that would be. I don't know. And then Goldberg comes out and wrestles Luchasaurus. There you go. I don't know. Maybe something like that could work out. McIntyre's contract is up soon. They'd have to do something. I don't really like. I'm not a big Goldberg guy. You guys know that, but just obviously the name would be handy for the company to have that. But that being said, man, I'm gonna call it a night because I've had a long week of wrestling and I need to get some extra sleep tonight for my early morning tomorrow. So, listen, everybody. I really appreciate you being here. Thank you. If you can click the like button, thank you for doing that. If you're new, I hope you sub. We need you so you can see all my videos every single day. And become a patron so you can support the Patreon. But not only that, you get thousands of shows on Patreon that you maybe have never heard or forgot about how funny they were and how crazy they are. So go become a patron. Right now on patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. Kyle Murphy just did. What up, Kyle Murph? Thanks, bro. Guys, I will see you at some point tomorrow for a bit. Okay? Keep it hard. Good night, boys and girls. Good night, boys and girls. Discord died. Sorry, Discord, but it died.
Patreon.com/.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Show, whether it's on the app on your phone,
and I'll see you on Patreon.
Over 2,000 hours of bonus
Thank
content,
you.
Controversial content you never heard on YouTube, like the Corrupted Podcast, my morning podcast, my podcast with my wife, my podcast with Jake and JB and everybody else over the years. There's hundreds of different shows on Patreon.com/Joe Cronin Show. And all we need is 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. All I need is 5, 15, or 25 to help us stay alive. 5, 15, or 25.
This sounds like a fantasy you have in your mind. I'm talking like a prince now. So
15 or 25. Help me stay alive. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. Help me stay alive. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. Keep the show alive. 5, 15, or 25. All I need is 5, 15, or 25. All I need is 5, 15, or 25. Help us stay alive. 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. All I need from you. What are you gonna do? 5, 15, or 25. 5, 15, or 25. All I need is 5, 15, or 25. Keep me alive.
One of those guys that from Long Island that wants to be a white rapper, but he's 30-something years old, lives in his parents' basement with the droopy cap and the whatever, but he thinks he's Howard Stern, and he's got a cool way of talking in the microphone, and he's a very shock jock or whatever, and somehow or another he accumulates followers on Twitter. It's fucking pathetic. So please, nobody listen to anything involving a guy named Joe Cronin because it's just so fucking sad.